When you look at this logo, what do you see? Do you see a company that cares about its fans? A company that's revolutionized and rescued gaming from the hands of Atari with their abhorrous way of doing the game, the way that they, screwed up gaming in the 70s? Or do you see a lot of corporate greed, a lot of just being stupid to everyone, and just overall doing nothing but trying to make EA look like they're just asking for money and not bargaining and trying to force money out of you? Ladies and gentlemen, this is Nintendo. And this is going to be a longer video because I have realized that with my phone number having been linked to my Google account, I will not be publicly sharing either of those, by the way, because that would be very stupid and I don't want to give Ray Larson any ammunition. However, that is a topic for a whole different video. We're going to be talking about Nintendo, of course. We're going to be talking about how stupid they are. All while Soundsmith's stereotypes videos, music plays in the background. So yeah, no. This is a company you don't want to trust with your money. And I will go into as much depth as need to be by reacting to this video by XanderJ. Let's begin.
You ever heard of Nintendo?
I have. In fact, I have a DS Lite.
They're pretty big. Pokemon, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Zelda, Mario. They made the games that everybody loves.
Shit. If I could find my DS right now, I could show you the real games that everyone loves. But, yeah, no, if Nintendo made the games that I love, then PlayStation made the games that I absolutely would want to date. Of course, I'm joking, because Nintendo does not make games that people love. Yeah, sure, the Galaxy games are great, Mario Kart 8 is great, Smash is great, Mario 64 is great. Okay, so these are great games.
Donkey Kong, Kirby, Zelda, Mario. They made the games that everybody loves.
Yeah, they did make games that everybody loved. Let me just back up a few frames just to see if I can get these game covers in frame.
Pokemon, Donkey Kong, Kirby, Zelda, Mario. They made the games that
Okay. We have Breath of the Wild. That's already that's a great game because it's like the first Zelda game we've had in the modern day in God knows how long. New Mario Bros. Wii. That just reintroduced us to Mario Bros. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. That's just a new Kirby game. We haven't had a new Kirby game in God knows how long. Mario Odyssey. Again, new Mario game of its type. We've never had a new Mario game in the 3D platform like this in a long time. Zelda Wind Waker sucked. This is not a game people like. So I don't know what you're talking about. Tears of the Kingdom. New Super Mario Brothers U. Ow. Super Mario Brothers Wonder. Super Mario Galaxy and Galaxy 2. We love those because it took the 3D Mario games. It took the 3D Mario gaming style that Sunshine gave us and basically decided, hey, let's throw it into space and see what we can do. Zelda and the Skyward Sword. I don't have much of an opinion on that because I haven't heard of it. Mario U Deluxe. Why did you remaster a game for the Wii U? Which in and of itself was a remaster of a game for the Wii. You basically just pulled the PlayStation by going, oh yeah, remake of a remake. How fun is that? Wii Sports, a game that the Wii came with. Great tech demo, and just overall a great game. Super Mario 64, again, like Mario's big 3D outing. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, again, a great Smash Bros. Title for the Switch. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, great game. It came out for the Wii U, I believe, after Mario Kart Wii technically came out. Mario Kart 8 came out, and then Mario Kart 8 Deluxe for the Switch. And Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. Honestly, who can hate that? However,
everybody loves. Or they used to.
yeah, used to, and this is the reason why.
When Nintendo made the NES in 1985, it exploded in popularity.
Even though they marketed it as an entertainment system and not a game console, because this is the 80s. Gaming was at its lowest. You can blame Atari for that. Thanks, Atari.
Everybody wanted this thing. Nintendo quickly became the household console that every family owned.
And it's a big gray brick.
Every kid had an NES.
But then again, okay, like I said, it's a big gray brick, but this big gray brick is what introduced everybody from the 80s onward to the Mario franchise.
Or a Game Boy.
This is what introduced handheld gaming to the rest of the world.
Or a Wii.
That is what made motion controls great, despite a lot of developers forcing said motion controls on people.
Or a DS.
Revolutionized portable gaming. I actually have a DS Lite like this, though instead of black, it's cobalt blue. Sonic all the way, baby.
Or a Switch.
Which revolutionized both handheld, motion controlled, and home gaming. So you could do motion control. So you could literally do motion controls at home on a big screen, or you could do motion controls in a mobile way. Again, that's revolutionary. You could also just play it like a Wii U, or you could play it like, you know, an actual home console with the Switch Pro controller.
Nintendo was a part of everyone's childhood, and because of that, everyone loved them. Nintendo always felt like the most genuine company compared to Sony and Microsoft.
Most genuine, my ass.
Every title they released had so much love poured into it. Playing their games are some of the most fun memories I have from my childhood. I loved Nintendo, and now I hate them. Nintendo is no longer the friendly, familiar face we thought we knew. They've become the most greedy, self-indulgent, anti-consumer business that not only doesn't care about their community, but is actively destroying it. Releasing terrible ports of games for more money about their community, but is actively destroying it. Releasing terrible.
I'm just gonna get to. There we go. So, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon for the 3DS, $40 on launch. That's not that bad. Nintendo Selects, which is essentially a remaster, I believe, of the same game, comes out for the 3DS again, but this time it's half off. That's great. How in the hell did we go from 40 to 20 to 60? I cannot fathom how stupid this is. We went from $40 in the 2000s to $20 in the 2010s to $60 in the 2020s. We're halfway through the decade of 2020. And this is what game prices have become. How? How have we fallen so far? One main reason, Nintendo themselves.
For more money, charging an upgrade fee to play titles in 60 FPS?
Allow me to scooch it back.
Releasing terrible ports of games for more money, charging an upgrade fee to play titles in 60 FPS.
I'm just gonna back this up. Just gonna.
Terrible ports of games for.
Just gonna back. Yeah, I'm just gonna try and get to this point. So, Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch. It was not great. It was not great at all. I'm gonna turn that off for a bit. But yeah, no, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom for the Switch was not great. It only ran at 30 FPS. It only ran up to 30 FPS, and even still, it was very poorly optimized. It was like they'd made the game specifically to run on computers with, like, ray tracing in them. And yet when they literally made it for the sole purpose of, oh yeah, by the way, this belongs on a Switch and nothing else, it ran poorly. Absolutely horrendously. Like, the frame rate was just disgusting. And there would be frame drops all over the place. Do you want to know what people did? They emulated this game. And got better frame rates with the Switch version on PC than they did with the same game for the same system on the actual system. It's incredible how incompetent Nintendo has gotten.
60 FPS, raising the price of older consoles.
Oh yeah, no.
Charging an upgrade fee to play titles in 60 FPS, raising the price of older consoles.
Oh yeah, no, the Switch used to cost, okay, this is a Switch OLED, it's like $350. Why is it $50 more?
Charging creators to make videos on their products and shutting down a charity event.
Nintendo won't let charity speedrunning event use its games without permission because, of course, Mario Kart. This was this year. This year they did this. Hell, like more than a month ago they did this. We're sitting at, what, Saturday, September 27th. This was Wednesday, August 6th. Of this year, 2025. And they're getting away with this. Why?
What happened?
And also, yeah, I want to know what happened too. How am I freaking taking like 15 minutes just to get through the 1 minute fucking mark of the video? I'm just gonna skip over this.
Most loved gaming company. They practically saved the industry at its lowest.
Oh, hold on, this is important.
Nintendo went from being the most loved gaming company. They practically saved the industry at its lowest, making games that were timeless and consoles that were actually fresh. They were so easy to root for until now. Their entire brand's reputation is falling apart, and they don't even seem to care.
They're not even waking up to reality. They're not even waking up to reality, that's the thing.
Hey, by the way, I'm trying to beat Chipotle in subscribers. I used to
We don't need to care about that, so we can just skip ahead of that.
terrible company in just about every way. Trust me, you haven't heard everything. Now I understand this video is very long. Not everyone is going to be staring at the video the whole time. So I made another audio cue. If you hear this,
which is the Switch control with the Switch 1 Joy-Con Connect sound.
that means I'm showing something relevant on screen. For example, this is my dog. With all that being said, please enjoy me talking about the most scummy, brain-dead, pathetic, worthless company in existence.
Yes, this is exactly the representation of Nintendo these days. And no, I will not be joking when I say this.
Nintendo.
Yes, these horrible fucks. They scam people! How fun!
How about we start off with something nice and easy, like some good old software scams? Do you ever want to just donate $10 to Nintendo? Well, great.
And this is the first relevant point.
Introducing upgrade packs.
If you already, essentially, if you already have Mario Party Jamboree, Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, and Forgotten Land,
Possibly the scummiest invention since loot boxes. You know that game you bought 8 years ago that runs like shit?
because they put it on a fucking Switch. That is the exact. That is a simulation of the Switch whenever it plays that exact game.
Well, you can fix that now. All you have to do is buy Nintendo's latest overpriced console.
$450,
Of course, the $70 game.
which is overpriced,
And then a $10 upgrade fee.
making the game $80. My PC was gotten. The way that I'm into PCs now is my original PC, which is an HP Pavilion Slimline S5000. I believe it's a S53 and S5378. That I got at an estate sale for $20. 20. That's already more of a value than this, and this combined. And that computer only had Windows 7 and only could use Ethernet. Now I've went and gotten a Wi-Fi card in it, which sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. But I do have a Wi-Fi USB adapter on it, which lets me use Wi-Fi on Windows 7 and Windows 10. Because yes, we have an SSD in it to have Windows 10 run on it too. So about under $50 was put into that computer alone. And I don't know, that's already less than this game. And way less than this. And let's not forget, a friend of mine, a streamer friend of mine, Anne, she went and got me Sonic Racing Crossworlds for me. That is a $95 purchase on Steam. Steam. If I bring up a calculator and I go to Sonic Racing Crossworlds, I go to the store page and I start doing some calculations because of course I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to mute that because copyright potentially. So yeah. Scroll down. The specific version that I've gotten on Steam was the Digital Deluxe Edition, which includes the game itself and the season pass. $89.99. The game itself is $70. The game itself is $70. And with the season pass being what is essentially a $30 increase, that should have came about to $100. But no, that was about a $95 purchase. So if you go to here and do $95 and then add on the $20 computer that I have, that's only $115. And this computer that I'm currently using only has a GTX 980 in it, which, if I go to Amazon and look at the order history of when I got that specific, when I go to my specific Amazon order, it's Opera GX, don't worry about it. Anyways, I guess some music will be fine. There we go. if I go to my returns and orders on Amazon and I look for my GTX 1080, oh 980, sorry. If I go to the 980, it was 129.50. If I back up here and look at it, its total is 149.81. So I have to add on that 149 and 81, which gives me this of 264.81. And then, of course, I have to go and find the RAM that I got for my computer as well. The RAM I went and got. Let's see here. It was somewhere in here. I know that. I did order things, but then canceled them because I was trying to save myself some money. Oh, now I should factor this in as well. So that's an additional $31.63. The hard drive I have would have added another 5274 to it, but it died. So that's fun. I did, however, get 1687 of RAM. And I got another 1792 of RAM. Because if I go here, okay, that fixed, I think. So yeah, I left off on the graphics card. The the Wi-Fi adapter was $31.63. That's $296. The RAM was oh. Adding on 1687. That's 313. Adding on this RAM is an additional 1792. $331.23. Now, what are we looking at here? We have $450 plus 70 plus 10. This is essentially what my current setup plus racing Crossworlds comes out to. You can already see that my current setup with Crossworlds factored in and my 980 factored in is way less than the Switch 2. In fact, less than the Switch OLED. If I bring in a Desmos calculator, like this. If I bring in this calculator, oh, didn't mean to do that. Switch to this, shrink this. I'm gonna put these calculators side by side so you can get a picture of this. This is essentially all the math that I was doing. This is what we're sitting at for my PC. If you go to here and do 450 plus the $70, if we do the already overpriced game plus the overpriced console, plus the stupid upgrade. That is more... The Racing Crossworlds and my computer's upgrades have been more worth it than the Switch 2, Tears of the Kingdom, and the upgrade for it.
To unlock the frame rate.
$10 to upgrade the frame rate.
I'm sorry, let me get this straight. Breath of the Wild is 8 years old now.
This game has nearly been out for almost a decade. This video, as of recording it, by the way, he made it 8 days ago. So, going back 8 years would be 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17. This game is from 2017.
And it cost more money? All you guys had to do was add 30 extra frames? And what, a gambling mechanic?
You mean to tell me that a game released in 2018 not only sucks on the thing that you made that you made the game able to play on it, like not only does this game age like milk and essentially, you know, it's almost as old as the console itself, which the Switch is already damn near 10 years old, considering it came out in 2017, and it's 2025. The console is about 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. The console is 9 years old. The game is 8 years old. And yet, you decide to pull out a whole new console that's not only way too overpriced, but also mark up the game, and then decide to mark it up further by going, yeah, by the way, if you want better frame rate, screw you, you're gonna have to buy the game and get an upgrade for it, for a very fucking overpriced console. Why?
Once per day, you can spin for a daily bonus.
Literally all of our, literally the reaction everyone has, just slap
This is so pathetic. They add the tiniest, most insignificant features, like an extra save slot, sharing auto builds, and phone navigation.
Your destination is north of here and close. Your destination is above. Your destination is nearby. You have reached your destination.
Can you shut the f up?
Did we really need Google Maps and Tears of the Kingdom? Isn't the whole point to explore? This is obviously an excuse to charge you money for a higher frame rate cap. The same goes for Kirby, Metroid, and of course, Mario Party Jamboree. This one is especially bad. It's $20 for this upgrade, which makes this game worth $80 now.
For some reason.
Crazy. In return, you get a couple shitty minigames that utilize the camera, and better resolution, kind of. The new minigames run in 1440p. The old minigames run in 1080p. And if you're playing handheld, it runs in 720p. Even though the Switch 2's display is 1080p. And this is $80. Nintendo believes this game is...
The game is apparently worth $60. It's $20 to upgrade it!
Is worth more than Grand Theft Auto 5, Hollow Knight, and Minecraft combined.
And just to do some research, let's do some research, by the way. GTA 5. If I were to go to GTA 5 Legacy on Steam for some reason, at this rate, this is going to be public information, but who cares? At least you know that I'm 18. GTA 5. Oh yeah, no. Oh yeah, by the way. Oh yeah, GTA 5 Legacy isn't available on Steam at the request of Rockstar themselves. Yeah, you go there and you can find GTA 5 right there. It's just quote unquote enhanced. And what do you get for $30? GTA 5 Enhanced, GTA 5 Legacy, and GTA 5 Legacy Criminal Enterprise Starter Pack. I have 8 friends who have it. And mind you, this is GTA 5. Yeah, no, by the way, oh yeah, apparently GTA is in its Legacy Edition somehow, even though the game apparently has been quote-unquote re-uploaded back on March 4th of this year. Seriously, I have GTA 5 wishlisted on Steam. And this just ruins it because now I have to get GTA 5 Enhanced just so I can have GTA 5 the actual one, even though this is literally still made by Rockstar North and Rockstar Games, it's just been redone, I guess. I don't know, apparently it's been upgraded with faster loading, 3D audio, more stuff, plus exclusive content for GTA Online. But yeah, no, if I go to Steam for GTA 5 Enhanced and Hollow Knight, Team Cherry, these guys are great. $30, $15, $30. Console between $20 and $30. Mobile is about $7. Why? But yeah, no. 30, 15, 30. Let's bring up the calculator again. 30 plus 15 plus another 30. That's $75.
Worth more than Grand Theft Auto 5.
Let's bring this up and just play the video again just to be sure.
This is $80.
Super Mario Party World. So you mean to tell me that Mario Party Jamboree is worth $5 more than GTA, Hollow Knight, and Minecraft combined? Even if I were to get the deluxe PC edition, I wouldn't give a shit because I won't play it. Because one of my exes left a bad taste in my mouth about Minecraft. Because they would play it nonstop. Anyway. $80 for a Mario game. And this is for games that aren't even related to Nintendo.
Nintendo believes this game is worth more than Grand Theft Auto 5, Hollow Knight, and Minecraft combined.
Which again, $75 as opposed to $80.
Why not let people that bought the console and the game just play the game at a higher frame rate? Because that wouldn't make them any money.
That's the exact reason.
You know what does make them money?
This cash cow.
This guy.
The so-called winner of the video game mascot wars of the 90s. Because you had Mario, you had Bubsy, you had a whole bunch of different characters that barely anyone knew about. And then you have the blue blur himself, Sonic.
Everybody loves Mario, right?
Yeah.
Wouldn't it just be awesome if they remaster some of the best Mario games?
Yeah.
Like Mario 64,
Yeah.
Mario
Yay.
Sunshine.
Okay, good. Because for Mario's 35th
Mario
anniversary, they
Galaxy.
packaged Super Mario 64, Mario Sunshine, and Mario Galaxy in one bundle.
Wow.
Whoa.
It fucking sucked.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, this game is trash. There is no widescreen support. Two of the 3 games are just being emulated.
Yeah, no, that's terrible.
The controller input mapping is terrible. Super Mario 64 is locked at 30 FPS.
The N64 could only hit 20. F-Zero X and Super Smash Bros. Were some of the few titles that achieved the smoother 60 FPS. PAL versions of N64 games had even lower frame rates, down to 17, compared to the NTSC. So, ouch. But yeah, no. F-Zero X, Smash Bros, and Kirby 64 The Crystal Shards all ran at 60 FPS in the mid-90s. Mid to late 90s, in fact.
They weren't even trying on this game.
Meanwhile, Doom, the original game, I believe, Doom 1993. We already know it's a first-person shooter. This game could have, well, okay, 35 frames per second. That's fine. But emulators and ports such as GZ Doom and XanderJ allow for higher frame rates up to 60. Okay, so essentially what I was trying to remember is that the original Doom could run well above 60 FPS, hell, up to 75, despite it, you know, being locked at 35. It ran it up to 75 on modern hardware, but still.
But they still sold it for $60. And the cherry on top, they made it a limited release. It was available for purchase for 1 year, and then all physical copies were stripped and it was taken off the eShop.
Because of course they decided to be that petty with it.
I'm not joking. That was the whole marketing of this game. It was like they were yelling,
"You need to buy this right now. It's running out. Buy, 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 buy."
they were preying on FOMO, fear of missing out. And it worked. This game sold 10 million copies.
Limited my ass.
That is a third of Elden Ring.
Which sold 30,000 units.
If they pull this shit again, please remember what you're buying. A half-assed, lousy, unpolished, stupid, boring-ass port that runs emulated. And unfortunately, this is just one example. Donkey Kong Country Returns is released on the Wii for $50.
$50 on a piece of hardware from the early 2000s, nay, 2006.
Gets ported to every console for $20 as a Nintendo Select.
Because yes, $20, yes!
Then ported to Switch for 60. 60? Why?
How?
How do these games keep appreciating in value? This
The game has
port
been
isn't
out
even
for
good.
years.
They're not
and
adding
it suddenly
anything
goes
besides
up
making
in
them
value.
HD, but this upscaling looks like shit. It has less visual effects than the Wii version.
Which, by the way, same game. Wii versus Switch.
Riddled with bugs, graphical glitches. Who's buying this? Is it you? Version. Riddled with bugs, graphical glitches. Who's buying this?
The Wii version looks smoother than the Switch version. And the reason why I say that, despite the Wii having worse graphics, is, well, it's because they put some actual effort into the Wii. For the Switch, they just threw it through interpolation AI and said, fuck it, we'll do it like this and break everything. Hell, we'll risk breaking literally all of the game.
Is it you? Please stop. Hey, want to see a magic trick? I want you to picture what the most fun video game would look like. You got the image? Okay, now I'm going to show you what you're thinking in your head.
My current location is actually inside the game itself.
Would you like a game that's literally just an instruction manual? No?
No.
Well, you're getting it anyway. Welcome towards Nintendo's lazy-ass attempt to charge you money for a manual. Please don't call this a game. That is disrespectful to what a game is. This is a game. This is a game. This is a game. Hell, even this is a game. But this is a waste of your time and money.
Yeah, no, this is supposed to be a tech demo, and it costs $10. It shouldn't cost shit.
It's also currently the only game that supports 120 FPS.
Other than Silk Song.
Why couldn't they just unlock the frame rate for Mario Odyssey or Smash Bros? Whatever, this game is cheeks. Especially when you compare it to things like Astro's Playroom, which is free.
Which is free.
And Wii Sports, which is free.
Which is also free.
Anyway, I'm gonna come clean. I haven't even played this game. Why would I? But fine, let's talk to someone who has. Pinguino Al Pacino. I have a very important question.
Okay.
Give me your experience of Welcome Tour. I mean, you were in the trenches. You were there.
Do you want me to give you like YouTube voice thoughts or like my actual genuine thoughts?
Be real with me. Was it peak?
It was the worst 6 hours of my life. It's
So-
like trying to 100% like a high school textbook.
Well, gee, that sounds fun. I'm so glad Nintendo understands that what gamers really want is just more school. What's next? A game where you're gonna play basketball in wheelchairs?
Dear God.
Get ready to roll.
I have no words.
I do. Ever since I was a kid, I always dreamed about being a crippled basketball player. Yeah, I was on the fence about getting a Switch too, but crippled basketball just pushes me over the fence.
The latest
What the fuck?
in 3-on-3 sports is on the way.
Sounds like Pee Wee Herman if his balls dropped.
Let's cover the basics.
How about covering your mouth? Is the job listing they put out for the most annoying sounding fucking idiots on the planet? Is being a jerk off in the job description? I hope that somewhere, somehow, at some point, the people doing these voiceovers will get the ass beating they deserve. If there's any justice in this world, they'll all go to hell. Alright, I'm done.
Thanks, Bearman. This truly is the future of gaming, along with $80 Mario Kart.
It's bad. Very bad.
Oh my goodness, is that 1 million views now? Thank you. So what if you accidentally buy one of these games? Maybe your finger slipped or you thought the A button was the B button. It happens. Well, you could always try to get a refund. Their refund policy is something.
We are unable to provide refunds or exchanges for mistaken purchases.
PlayStation gives you 2 weeks for a refund.
That's good.
Steam gives you 2 weeks for a refund.
I know that.
Xbox gives you, you guessed it, 2
2
weeks for a refund?
refund.
Yeah. Nintendo will sell absolute garbage that's hardly even playable for full price, and you will shut up and be happy about it.
I will not shut up or be happy about it.
We need to talk about the hardware.
Which is also dog shit.
When the Switch 1 launched, physically, it was not perfect. but that's kind of to be expected for a brand new console like this.
You mean to tell me that all it takes to fix a fucking Joy-Con is WD-40?
Pretty much every console has struggled with thumbstick drift. Xbox, PlayStation, but Nintendo kind of brought it to the next level. They even got their own name, Joy-Con drift.
Joy-Con drift, yes. That's yeah, and all
I'd
you
like
needed to do to fix it was WD-40 it.
to take this moment to say, if you have Joy-Con drift, go get it fixed. Nintendo will fix it for free. Yes, you heard me right. Free. I gotta give them a W for this. I honestly expected Nintendo to charge you money for their poorly made controllers breaking.
By the way, they did that! They did that! Consumer protection. Nintendo agrees to offer free repairs of irresponsive Nintendo Switch controllers. Following an alert from the European Consumer Organization, or the BEUC, the European Commission and EU Consumer Authorities, Network of Consumer Protection and Cooperation, CPC authorities, contacted Nintendo to address a recurring technical problem with irresponsive controllers. Following this action, Nintendo has agreed to offer all consumers the right to repair for affected controllers of the Nintendo Switch gaming console free of charge, even beyond the legal degree. This joint action was led by Greek Ministry of Development and Investments and the German Environment Agency and coordinated by the European Commission. Consumers using the Switch console had reported to CPC authorities and consumer associations that they have been dealing with deterioration and a loss of control of the console. As the problem rendered the controllers useless, consumers who could not repair them easily or free of charge were obliged to replace them, resulting in unnecessary electronic waste. As a result of the action, Nintendo agreed to offer and indicate clearly that the defective Joy-Con controllers will be repaired without charge by Nintendo's repair centers, irrespective of whether this has been caused by a defect or by wear and tear, and even if the manufacturer's guarantee given by Nintendo has expired.
Oh, wait. They did. In 2019, there was a class action lawsuit brought up against Joy-Con drift. I'm no expert, but according to those who are, these joysticks were practically built to fail. It's called planned obsolescence. Yet despite this hidden defect, they continue to sell them anyway. And before this
Compounding the problem is that Joy-Cons only have a 3-month warranty, so many of the afflicted controllers are no longer eligible for free repairs. If not under warranty, Nintendo's support department has charged users $40 for repairs, which is only $10 less than the cost of outright replacing a Joy-Con. Even in the event of an affected Joy-Con is under warranty, Nintendo reportedly requires $4 for shipping and a 2-week turnaround time before the Joy-Con is repaired.
Class action lawsuit, you would have to pay the full price for the repair. That's cool. If there's one thing the Switch 2 had to do right, it's fix Joy-Con drift. Luckily, the president of Nintendo acknowledged the problem and apologized for, quote, causing any trouble to our customers, and noting that Nintendo is aiming to improve their products. So, surely they're gonna fix it for the Switch 2, right?
No.
Yeah, they didn't fix shit. Are people surprised by this?
No. Somehow, yes.
How? I really need a hit of whatever y'all Nintendo lovers are smoking. The Switch 2 began development in 2019. They knew about the widespread Joy-Con drift issues in 2017.
This was a thing that they knew about 2 years prior to making the thing.
They had almost a decade to figure this out. So what happened? The technology to fix stick drift has existed since before the 2000s.
Legendary example, and a way to say Sega does but Nintendo don't. Here's an example of a Dreamcast.
Sega used to use it. So why are we still using the worst technology 25 years later?
Essentially,
Sega used to use it. So
essentially what he's saying is Sega used Hall Effect joysticks, analog stick. Well, I don't know if they're called that. I don't know if they'd be considered an analog stick, considering it's Hall Effect. But the fact that Sega, Nintendo's competitor in the native land of Japan, used Hall Effect on their last console, the Dreamcast, is truly something. And it's not just on the joystick either. It's on the triggers. They used Hall Effect on the triggers. That's how you know Sega does what Nintendo don't. They used Hall Effect on triggers and joysticks. And Nintendo doesn't. To this day.
So why are we still using the worst technology 25 years later? You know why. Yet you guys have the balls to say this while showing the joystick.
We redesigned the system from the ground up and packed in lots of new gameplay features.
What, the mouse? The one used for Drag and Drive and Welcome Tour? Most people don't realize you can get a free repair from Nintendo. And most people don't realize that subscribing to XanderJ on YouTube is probably the best life choice you can make. Just saying. But for real, instead of getting a repair, they'll just buy a new controller for $60. I'm sorry, did I say 60? I meant 70. Fuck, sorry, 80. Actually, wait, isn't it 90 now?
That's already almost as expensive as Crossworlds at this point.
Or no, it was 90. How much is it now? I think it's 95.
That was the price that my streamer friend paid to get me Sonic Racing Crossworlds for Steam. Specifically the Deluxe Edition, like I said earlier. Which, with my whole setup and the parts that I got to upgrade my computer factored in, still costs less than the Switch, too!
Wait, no, it's not 95. Is that? No.
100, 101, 100, 100, 101, 100, 100, 100! Why are these $100? You don't need to copy PlayStation with their stupid pricing of the fucking DualShock 4. Let me say that again. You don't need to copy PlayStation over the DualShock 4. Because guess what? I have a DualShock 4. Guess how much that cost me? $65 at Walmart. Now, was that a good idea? Possibly not. Am I used to PlayStation's controller layout? Yeah, I've had a fucking PS3 since 2018. About as long as the fucking Tears of the Kingdom game has been out. And yet, what's changed between, what is it, PlayStation being the 6th generation, with the PS3 being the 6th generation, and the Switch being the 7th generation? Hell no, possibly 8th generation. Prices. Stupid. The PlayStation 3, somehow, is worth more than the PS5 is now. The PS3 is somehow worth $791 today. If you think I'm joking, watch this. If I go here to inflationstation.net and I just look at PlayStation 5, the PS5 Pro, if I look at the PS5 Pro, it used to cost $700 right off the gate. It's where it costs about $707 now. That's only a $7 to $11 difference. The PS3, costing $500 in 2006, would run you $790 dry. And that's for a console that came out the same year I was born. For consoles that came out before then, such as, I don't know, the 3DO Interactive Multiplayer, which came out in 1993 at a $700 price tag, is worth $1,531. Here's the Wii. It released with a $250 price tag. It's worth $400 now. How? Ask Nintendo. They made a $450 console cost an obnoxious price. Even comparing that to the Steam Deck, which arguably better specs and better performance, you know, and better features, and having a demo that's free. Ahem. Yeah, no, a set of Joy-Con 2s should not cost this much.
$100 for this shit? Really? By the way, did you know these triggers are still digital buttons? PlayStation and Xbox have been using analog triggers since the early 2000s. Hell, even you guys had analog triggers for the GameCube. How are you innovating backwards?
How do you do it? How do you do it? How? How do you do it? Nintendo, tell me, how? My video is already almost as long as this guy's video, and I'm not even a full fucking 13 minutes in.
Also, why does this controller only work on the Switch 2? The other day I tried to use it on Steam, and it didn't work. So I searched up why, and it turns out that Nintendo just didn't want to make the drivers for it. Cool.
Ignore his promotion. Anyway, look at all these controllers. They're for the Switch too. Well, they're for the Switch. And look, even Xbox-style controllers, arguably better. And GameCube ones, arguably better. Despite the weird layout.
I guess it was also too much of a hassle to let third-party controllers turn on the console. Yes, that is an exclusive feature to Nintendo's controllers. Can they get more anti-consumer? Of course they can.
This
Here is a clip from Linus Tech Tips.
dock is a classic example of locking down a product, not for a good reason, but just because we can, or to make a buck, or because, I don't know, you.
So Nintendo designed the Switch 2 to only work with their dock. You know, the one that costs $120?
Sorry, it's 125.
Bear in mind, you can buy a $30 dock that will work with any USB-C device, including the Switch 1, but not the Switch 2. No. If you want to have an extra dock for traveling or an extra setup, you're gonna have to buy it directly from Nintendo. Pieces of shit. Not even Apple could come up with this. For years, we've been moving away from proprietary bullshit.
Such as the lightning connectors.
Now Nintendo could fix this tomorrow with a simple update, but they won't. They would much rather watch you buy this piece of junk for $120.
Again, 125.
How much you want to bet other companies are going to start doing the same thing?
Can we shoot this motherfucker already? He's done nothing but cause trouble to every fucking person that's even used his platform, and even still, he's driving it into the dirt. Did I mention that this guy is associated with Epstein before? No? Okay, now I will. This is David Bazooki, I think. Possibly, maybe. Anywho. I'm sure this is probably David Bazooki. If not, then I can probably fact check it later. Or right now, actually. Hold on. Purposely spell it wrong because fuck him, that's why. Okay, this guy is older than this guy. Oh. Oh no. Oh. I think that might be Steve Jobs. Because at least Bazooki has this much hair, and his glasses look completely different from this guy's. But yeah, this guy looks familiar because he's on Apple's fucking marketing. It's not, no, it's not Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs looks a whole lot different from him. Not Steve Wozniak, I think. Hold on. No, not Steve Wozniak. That's way different. No, I'm not getting a Mac. Fuck that. But yeah, this guy essentially is the guy at Apple, I think, that decides that everything should be, you know, their own ecosystem, which is bullshit.
But at least if you buy the dock, you own it. Just like with physical game cartridges. If you buy those, you own the game. Right? Wrong. You don't get to own anything, you silly goose. You actually thought Nintendo put a game on this thing?
Classic. We got Sonic and Shadow Generations, made by the goats themselves.
That's gonna cost them money. But that's fine, you can just download it on the eShop. They're never gonna close those. 2017, they closed the DSi eShop.
Which is a crime.
2019, they closed the Wii eShop.
Which is only around for 13 years.
2023, they closed the 3DS eShop.
That was recently.
Oh, and also the Wii U eShop.
Excuse me, why?
Just for fun. Wait, hold on, but I really wanted to play Mario Galaxy. Oh, you wanted to play Mario Galaxy? Just play 3D All-Stars, buddy. Yeah, I would, but you guys also took that down, remember? Oh yeah, I guess we did. Oh well. What do you mean, oh well? How do I play it? Can I use an emulator?
Here we go.
These game cartridges that just contain the license are so anti-consumer. There is no game on this. It is...
Allow me to try and not piss off every Sega fan that's grown up with SA1, SA2, and Sonic Heroes. If Sonic of the late 90s and early 2000s were to look at this and see that it's a game key card and not the actual game, do you know how fast Sonic would literally beat Mario's ass? And no, before you Nintendo fanboys even try to defend Nintendo, he will get his shit ran so fucking fast by the blue blur on his own. And that's not even accounting for the fact that he might have the Chaos Emeralds, might have the Super Emeralds, might have called in Shadow and Classic Sonic for backup, might have called all of his friends. The only friends Mario has are Luigi, and that's it. He only has his brother. Sonic doesn't have an official brother. He has Tails, which is an adopted brother to Sonic. He has his classic self, though. He has Shadow. He has Amy, Knuckles, Tails. Basically everybody that's helped him in Sonic Forces. And technically in Heroes, and I can't believe I had to bring up Sonic 06, but he's got the guys from 06 as well. But anywho, Sonic versus Mario, one-on-one, no holds barred. That fat Italian is going to become Red Mist. Because if you put those two in a room where the only logic is that Sonic's immense speed will not break the universe that box is in, that fat Italian does not stand any chance. Because if we're going off of Sonic's current power level from Frontiers and onwards, he can run so fast that time slows down around him. And that when he runs, he has a trail. And he can run so fast that he can grab his own trail. Need I remind that Sonic in the Archie comics ran so fast he went backwards in time? and nearly destroyed the planet he was running on? That's in the Archie comics. The Archie comics, where Ultra Sonic exists.
It is just a glorified download key. And before you tell me some games like Breath of the Wild have the full game, that's only partially true. You'll just be missing the expansions, the updates, the DLC, but you could just buy that for an additional $20.
Yeah, by the way, the Master Trials expansion pack and the Champion Ballad expansion pack, $20 to an already overpriced $70 game.
But yeah, physical games at best will have just the game. At worst, and most commonly, just a license. Most people hear this and they don't care. But you really should, because once the eShops get closed, and they will, all these physical games are going to be rendered completely useless.
Quote-unquote physical because they're game key cards.
Just garbage. But they couldn't just stop at making physical games stupid, they had to make digital games stupid as well.
Introducing the virtual game card.
Really? Virtual game cards? So now, all my games can only be on one console at a time. Truly revolutionary.
Not.
No more sharing accounts to try to save any money. They'd prefer it if you keep buying their overpriced garbage as many times as possible.
Because, of course.
It's so fun to load and unload all my games from console to console. Thanks, guys.
Sarcasm.
Y'all really know how to make some digital garbage.
Speaking of.
On the topic of digital garbage, check out the...
Oh yeah, by the way, timestamp 15:53. We are an hour deep into recording, and we're only 15 minutes in.
This new user interface.
To a 57-minute video.
Oh, wait, sorry, that's the Switch 1 UI. This is the Switch 2 UI. Oh, shit, sorry, that's still the Switch 1 UI. This is the Switch... No, this is the Switch 2 UI. Actually, wait, I think it was the one before.
So very little has changed between the UI of the Switch and the Switch 2 that it's not even close to funny.
I can tell because it has this game chat button. You know what it does? I'm not sure. I never click it. I have something called Discord. I even have a server. You should go join it. But wait, hold on. Let's give it a fair shot. How does this even count as screen share?
Oh, I think I know where you are. Wait.
You know where she is? Gee, I'd fucking hope so if you can see her screen.
With how tiny they are.
But they even take it up a notch with the all-new Nintendo Switch camera. $50, please.
Yeah, no, $55 for this piece of shit. I bought a fucking webcam for $60, and it sucks. Not just because of the fact that I have poor lighting, because I only have like one light in my room, but because even in the dark, the thing can barely see my face.
Now you have the privilege of looking at your loser friends in your brand new $80 piece of shit Mario Party game.
I'll let you fix it. A little more this way.
A Nintendo Switch Online membership will be required to use Game Chat.
By the way, you know they still haven't added themes? You know, these. The ones we've been asking for almost a decade. I'm just wondering, why even have a themes page? What, for white and black? When's the gray DLC coming out? Did you guys even change the eShop? Oh wow, you actually did. It's now red instead of orange. And there's even this For You page. We got Super Mario Party Jamboree, Switch Sports, Super Mario Bros, Welcome Tour, Splatoon. Yeah, it's all Nintendo games. Real convenient, huh? There's not a single game on this recommendation list that I'm interested in buying. Not to mention that half of these aren't even possible to play without having online. Oh yeah, we should talk about online. Imagine this. It's 2018. You just bought a Switch with your friend, and you're playing online for free.
Right.
I know, crazy.
Yeah. Switch Online used to be free. But now it isn't. You have to pay $10 a month for it.
Easy. But how could Nintendo even do this? I mean, they must be losing so much money on the servers. Well, actually, most of these online games ran a peer-to-peer connection, which means the Switch is disconnected directly to one another. The only servers Nintendo has to uphold is the matchmaking servers. Why?
It's cheaper.
Because it's cheaper.
There is no benefits to a player-to-player connection. It's less secure, it's more lag, and shit like this happens.
Where you will try to do something like this, and it just won't register. The inner FPS player in me, the TF2 player inside of me, is looking at this and cringing, because, like, they clearly walked on that orange ink. See? They walked on that orange ink, continue to walk on that orange ink. You can see it going around the edges of the screen. He clearly walked in it. And yet it didn't register.
But fine, it's a free service after all. It was a free service.
Yeah, no, it was free.
One day, Nintendo just up and decided, hey, we should charge money for this.
$20 a year.
Wait, for what? It's a player-to-player connection.
And now they have GameCube games.
Yes, sir. But the thing is, we would like your money, please. Money, 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 money.
But what is it exactly that I'm paying for?
Oh, well, we added some NES games.
How many times can you refeed me the same goddamn dish? It's incredibly unoriginal, and all of these ports are as lazy as you could possibly make them. And what is he doing? The save data? Really? You're locking the save data behind a paywall? I guess no backups for me.
Yeah, that's fun. They've also locked save data behind the paywall. As if they weren't any petty already.
It's crazy that you have save backups locked behind a paywall, but you still can't even send a direct message. Hell, I can't even invite a friend to a game. I've been able to do that since I was a wee little kid on my Xbox 360.
Yeah, the 360, which came out in 2005, did this better than the Switch 2. And it had voice chat, it had direct messaging, it had a friend system. And it worked. Because Microsoft actually thought to do something smart back then.
How is that not possible? This is like a fundamental feature of online.
You are proper cheating. Quickscoping is cheating to start with, but...
Quick joke. Quickscoping is cheating to start with. No, quickscoping isn't cheating, it's called skill. I've done it before.
The way you are quickscoping, that is way too quick. Reported. 10 people it is to get you banned, and I've got 10 people, mate.
Okay, Reddit mod. Anyway.
Are you guys sad? Should I play some Zelda's Lullaby?
Oh yeah, no, by the way, we can't do that because... Oh yeah.
Oh wait, sorry, I forgot you guys don't upload your music
Nintendo
to Spotify.
Doesn't upload music to Spotify.
Like literally everybody else.
Every sane person.
No. Instead, you have to download the Nintendo Music app.
Which is ass.
You also need Nintendo Switch Online.
Which is also ass.
Sure, just shove more monetization into every nook and cranny. It was really starting to bother me how all my music was in one nice neat place. I prefer having different apps for each different song. Thanks, Nintendo.
Again, it's sarcasm, but you can see the point. Nintendo just loves ruining everybody's life.
Y'all are really looking out for the community.
Speaking of the community.
The Nintendo community is quite something. I'm not really sure how to put it into words, so I'm gonna focus on something I'm much more in tune with.
These boys! Sonic! Sega!
The speedrunning community.
Never mind.
It's a pretty big part of these Nintendo games, especially with games like Super Mario 64, Ocarina of Time, Odyssey. These games have enormous speedrun communities. How exactly does Nintendo feel about that? They try to handicap it in every possible way. Most of their modern games have incredibly long tutorial sections that are unskippable.
Such as the example of Terminal Montage, something about Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom.
It's
Yeah, you wait so long, you practically die.
insane. And don't even get me started on the Pokemon games.
This is at 10 times speed, by the way. 10 times!
This is the world record, by the way. They also seem to love to force you to watch every cutscene.
Like, the fact that they're like, be careful about setting this setting when they hardly even let you fucking skip any settings anyway. Or they let you hardly skip any cutscenes. It's so ridiculous.
In Tears of the Kingdom, after you complete the intro section, you have to watch a 4-minute unskippable cutscene, even if it's your second playthrough. This is at the start of the game. It's moderately annoying for people that want to replay this, but as someone who used to be top 3 at this game, it killed my enjoyment of speedrunning. I really don't understand the argument of, they do it for casuals. Brother, have you ever met a casual that's mad there's a skip button? What are we talking about? The whole point is that it's an option, but even if you're still nodding your head in disagreement, how's this? In Tears of the Kingdom, Nintendo directly targeted glitches that only affect the speedrunning community. I don't think there was any casuals accidentally zuggling. Aw, whoopsies, I equipped a weapon in my hand and then opened the map rune and then changed weapons and dropped the weapon and then did that 13 times over. My experience is ruined. I'm aware that this is somewhat of a minor point, but fuck it, it's my video and it really pisses me off. A while back, I tried to start a bingo community for Tears of the Kingdom. We're launching an official Tears of the Kingdom bingo server.
This is him just self-plugging, but anyway. The point is he legitimately tried to speedrun it, it failed.
And it kinda failed. Not
Exactly.
because there wasn't much interest, but rather, if you wanted to compete, you needed these movement glitches. I mean, come on, just look at this. Tell me that doesn't look cool. This is an audible cancel. Even if I told you how to set it up, you would fail, because it's practically frame perfect. But of course, they patch it anyway. And I might sound like a drama queen saying this, but I don't care about playing Tears of the Kingdom on the current version because of that. That wouldn't be a big problem, if it wasn't for the fact that you're forced to play on the most recent version. There is no way to play old versions, unless you have a physical copy lying around and you're okay with factory resetting your Switch.
Which would be a pain in the ass to do, considering, you know, you'd have to possibly be online to do that, because Nintendo loves shilling money from people just by existing.
Then you're gonna have to deal with this stupid-ass version of the game. 1.4. For a game that seems to be about solving puzzles your own way, they really want you to solve it the Nintendo way. All of their puzzles just devolve into using Ultra Hand and Recall. Ultra Hand and Recall. Ultra Hand and Recall.
Well, that was an easy try.
You want to see what a real puzzle looks like? Go check out how I beat Tears of the Kingdom with only key items. That was like a month-long journey.
Yes, dude! Yes!
But don't go watch it just yet. There's a few more things we should talk about in the community.
Right, such as...
Just in case you think they still care about us. 2015, Nintendo creates the Creator Program.
Right.
Now you can monetize your Nintendo videos, if you pay them 30 to 40% of your ad revenue. How generous!
30 to 40% of the ad revenue. You don't get that 30 to 40% back, by the way. They take it for themselves because they're greedy fucking idiots now.
2020, a Splatoon 2 tournament was cancelled when the company found out they were using hashtag free melee in their names. 2022, when the company found out they were using hashtag free melee.
Okay. So to read this off and summarize it, the Splatoon community in support of Smash has 30% of the top teams in the weekend Splatoon 2 North American Open with team names in support of Melee and Smash. So what does Nintendo of America do in response? They cancel the live stream for tomorrow's finals.
In their names. 2022, YouTube channel receives over 2,000 copyright blocks. Their channel was forced to be deleted. Hey, have you heard of Point Crow? You know Nintendo almost killed his channel? What did he do? He tried to make Breath of the Wild multiplayer. No warnings, no discussion, just 2 strikes out of the blue. 2020.
I am not going to do anything with that.
Did another Smash Bros tournament from happening. Then they did that again, and then again.
This is the charity one from earlier.
Oh, and this one was for charity. That's fun. You almost accidentally supported people in need.
You get extra slaps for hurting people that literally need the money because they literally are part of it. Like, it's for charity, Nintendo. Don't be like that.
People wonder why the community feels like it's dying, because it is. Just look at the views. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe gets 14 million views 8 years ago.
Yeah, 8 years ago.
Mario Kart World gets 5. Breath of the Wild gets 31 million views. Tears of the Kingdom gets 16. Super Mario Odyssey gets 58 million views 8 years ago. Donkey Kong Bonanza gets 3.5. Oh my god.
It didn't fit in the screenshots.
There is no pretending that Nintendo is as popular as they used to be.
I apologize for making this video way longer than it should, but you know, this really needs to be addressed. And if I'm gonna get this as long as it fucking needs to be, it's gonna be very long.
They are not. And despite people saying that they will buy the Switch
I'm also recording this in one take, so screw it.
2, whether or not they have a smile on their face, I don't believe them. People buy these consoles for their games. And when Nintendo doesn't deliver on the games, people won't buy them. Or they'll just use an emulator.
Speaking of emulators.
If you've been living under a rock, an
Aha, there's the Game Genie.
emulator is a software or hardware that lets you mimic another system, like an NES or a GameCube. There's a few reasons why people would use emulators over their traditional consoles. Let's quickly talk about each one. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go. Convenience. One device can play all your games from dozens of consoles. No need for bulky hardware, fragile disks, or region-locked systems. Switch 2. 2. Enhanced
Region locked.
No need for bulky hardware, fragile disks, or region-locked systems. Switch 2. 2.
Region locked.
Enhanced features and performance. Games can run in HD or even 4K with better frame rates. Use cheats, custom controls, the world is your oyster. 3. Preservation and availability. You can keep your old games alive when the hardware is rare, broken, or out of print. Oh, and 4, it makes piracy incredibly easy.
Nintendo's legal team.
Yeah, if we're gonna talk about emulation, we have to talk about piracy. Emulators make it very easy to pirate software. No, not him. But
Not that narcissist asshole.
seriously,
Not
this
that
piracy
nepo baby. Not that nepo baby.
problem is kind of a big deal. Tears of the Kingdom was pirated and played on Yuzu, a Switch emulator, over 1 million times before the game came out.
That is impressive. The game was played by 1 million people on an emulator before the game even came out.
Nintendo, of course, upset and pissed off, sues them. But
Which is stupid.
here's the thing. Emulators are legal.
Yes. Emulators literally are legal. That's the thing.
Yuzu wasn't the one to leak Tears of the Kingdom. That was Nintendo's fault. But just
Yeah, Nintendo themselves leaked the game. And then 1 million people emulated the hell out of it. And then they got mad for something they caused. Look in the mirror, Nintendo. You're looking kind of ugly now.
by the very nature of what an emulator is, yeah, it could be played on Yuzu. And there was nothing Nintendo could do to stop them. So what were they gonna do? They were gonna stop them. Even though Tears of the Kingdom leaked several weeks early, it ran like garbage. That's because emulators aren't perfect. They need a ton of updates all the time to keep games running smoothly. But there was one place where you could play the game normally. Yuzu's early access build. I wonder how they made a build optimized for a game that hasn't even come out yet. Just saying.
That's a bit suspicious.
The only place you could find this early access build was on their paid Patreon page. Yeah, Yuzu was making upwards of $30,000 a month off their Patreon, basically selling this early access build. Because of that, Nintendo has reason to sue now. So how much was Nintendo gonna sue for? Couple $100 grand? Try 2.4 million. I would love to see what black magic Nintendo is using to pull this number out of their ass. As part of the agreement, they had to shut down Yuzu, the Switch emulator, and Citra, the 3DS emulator.
Which I can use Citra still.
Hopefully you don't care about preserving games. They definitely don't. But to be fair, Yuzu was a bit shady. So let's have a look at Ryujinx, another Switch emulator. Ryujinx was also around when Tears of the Kingdom got leaked, and it was also used to play Tears of the Kingdom. The key difference here is that they didn't have any early access builds on their Patreon. So what happened to them?
They got blasted.
They got nuked. Nintendo never officially sued them, but instead they approached the owner of the project and offered him a deal. Whether that's money or a threat, I have no idea. But ultimately, the project was shut down. There goes all the Switch emulators. I just want to remind you, emulators are legal. But Nintendo disagrees, and they will do anything and everything to shut them all down. Oh, except when they want to use them in the museums.
I want you to listen to this and listen to the sound effects real quick, okay? Did you hear that? It sounds like
that's a Windows sound.
Like someone disconnected and reconnected a USB device on a Windows computer. It's like Nintendo's always trying to sell you the idea that emulation is bad and you should always play the classic games on their original hardware, when even in their own museums, they don't have the original hardware for people to use.
Don't you just love
Which is incredibly stupid and funny at the same time, because they're using emulators for things that they don't want emulators to be used for.
that Nintendo using emulators? And it's so cute how they're shy about it too. So sneaky, like ninjas. Oh, we should talk about the Nintendo ninjas.
Speaking of,
so in 2013, there was a prominent Nintendo leaker by the name of Eclipse. Now Eclipse claimed to have documents that showed Nintendo tracking a homebrew hacker, and it was pretty bad. They made a whole goddamn flowchart on exactly how to coerce this guy into doing what they want. A flowchart. I'm no expert on business
dear God, a flowchart.
psychology, but I think Nintendo went a little far on this one. They had him profiled to the point where they knew when he was at home, when he was at work, where he drove, whether it was a bank or a restaurant. They knew who visited him, listed details of his working life. So what did this guy do? Well, he found an exploit that would make hacking the 3DS possible. So...
Are you kidding me? All because of the 3DS? Something you don't even make anymore?
Yeah, that kind of makes sense. The spooky part of the story is we never heard back from the hacker. He quite literally made the biggest breakthrough in 3DS hacking and then just disappeared.
Yep.
Hey, you ever wonder what happens when you do steal their intellectual property? This is Gary Bowser. And yes, his last name is actually Bowser. He joined a hacker group known as Team Executor. They produced dongles that bypassed the anti-piracy technology in the Switch and other consoles. He made it easier to pirate games. And he got caught. He was ordered to pay Nintendo $4.5 million, and he also had some jail time. Poor guy. But of course, Nintendo wasn't done with him just yet. So they smacked him with a civil suit for $10 million, which they make in a day. Sorry, did I say a day? They make 20 in a day. Oops, 30. Gary only made like 300,000 from this hacking venture. How the hell does he owe 10 million? Nintendo loves playing the legal game, but most of their lawsuits are just so stupid. We have to talk about it.
So a whole section on loose
Did you know
lawsuits,
Nintendo tried to kill renting games? Like the general concept of renting a video game. They sued Blockbuster for it. Yes, that Blockbuster. Now, they lost this lawsuit because, well, it's stupid, but this was kind of like the first domino falling. Nintendo was a bunch of losers, and they wanted to shut everything down. 2009, they shut down a Zelda fan movie. Why do they care? 2010, a bunch of fans made a Pokemon fan game. They shut it down. MLG hosted a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. They shut it down. A developer wanted to write a book about making a Nintendo game. Shut down. A high school student made an emulator. Shut down. A Game Boy Advance emulator was uploaded to GitHub. It was shut down. What, you really thought you could play a Game Boy emulator? Nope. What about Wii? No. 3DS? Nope. Switch? Fuck no. And like, are emulators even illegal? Nope. What about these fan games? Who knows? It doesn't matter. When you have over $100 billion to flop around, you can be the asshole. And they are. Not convinced? Alright. Let's talk about...
They're the EA and... Okay, well, they're essentially the EA, Ubisoft, Activision Blizzard, and... themselves of the fucking video game world, because duh. They're, to put it in a railroad terms, which I'm sure people on this channel are probably going to know me for now, they're essentially the Norfolk Southern and Canadian Pacific of the gaming world, because Norfolk Southern has enough money to cover their own backs over the horseshit that they do, and they're greedy as hell. Canadian Pacific literally stealing the Kansas City Southern from all of the people in the South. How dare they?
Pokemon. If you're a Pokemon fan, you've probably been let down, game after game after game. But there's a new kid on the block, Power World. It's like Pokemon with guns.
Fun.
So, as you could probably guess, Nintendo sued them, asking for $65,000 and, of course, the shutdown of the game. But not for what you might think. They didn't sue for copyright. Instead, they opted for patent infringement. Now, I'm no patent expert, and this story's already been talked about all over. Nintendo sues indie dev, tries to get their game shut down, and files for the patents after the game's release. Seems a little shady, but there's a very silly update that I need to tell you about. A few months ago, Nintendo rewrote the patent they're suing Palworld for. Somehow that's legal. They're basically changing the wording to be a lot more complex. How complex? Glad you asked.
Even when any boarding character other than the aerial boarding character is the currently selected boarding character, and a first operation input is given to when the player character is in the air, the computer causes the aerial boarding character to appear.
Sounds like someone tried to describe a game mechanic using Google Translate and a thesaurus, right?
How is this even a patent? This whole thing is literally over the glide mechanic. Apparently they patented this feature. If it's not obvious, Nintendo is trying to make this word salad as confusing as possible so that no lawyer understands it. Palworld responded by updating the game. This update got rid of all the quote-unquote patented features. Nintendo is still suing though. Luckily, it's pretty much guaranteed they're gonna lose this. Hey, future Xander here, editing this video. It turns out there's another update to the situation.
Oh no.
Nintendo has now filed another patent, this time for summoning creatures. Here, I'll just let Penguins explain.
I'm sure a lot of you are seeing the headlines right now about how Nintendo has successfully filed a patent in the US on summoning a character and letting it fight another. But
the thing is that, like, this has existed long before Pokemon made it a thing in video games.
Tons of people are worried with the way that the patent is currently filed that this will hit things far beyond just creature catching games. It will hit tons of products that have summoning as a mechanic.
Again, how are these patents? It's like patenting jumping in a video game. They will sue for anything. If you really love protecting your IP this much, why don't you actually make a good Pokemon game? Y'all have been asleep at the wheel for years now. Maybe
exactly.
Palworld will finally wake your asses up.
Yeah, we've been trying to wake them up, but they have not woken up.
Nintendo does not get enough credit for how pathetic they are. Actually, there is one community that does understand.
Fuck Nintendo. Yeah, I said it. Cancel all these turnies and act like we'll forget it. Built the scene our damn selves. Y'all don't get no credit. Better clip up Sakurai's ass and post that shit to Reddit.
The Super Smash Bros. Community. Have you heard of the Smash World Tour? Blah blah blah, it was popular. Nintendo kills it. Wow, crazy. But they've killed a billion things. Why is this one special? Well, because it actually marked the beginning of the end for Nintendo tournaments in general. From this point forward, you now need a license from Nintendo to run a tournament. And I guess it's to protect their IP. God, I'm sick of hearing that. I honestly don't even know what it means anymore. I don't think Nintendo knows what it means. You know, they tried to sue a Costa Rican supermarket because it had the name Super Mario. You know why it had that name? Because the owner of the supermarket's name was Mario. He didn't even know about Nintendo. And what the hell are they protecting? Look at the store. This is some random Costa Rican supermarket, not a knockoff Nintendo store. This poor
Exactly.
Costa Rican dude woke up to a multi-billion-dollar company handing him a lawsuit for this, and he won. Thank God. Hey, look at this YouTuber. They took down some of this dude's videos for using a camera mod. A fucking camera mod. Just like the ones they used in the trailers. But I guess it's fine when they use it. Just not when we do. We're not allowed to do that. Oh, did I ever mention you don't actually own your Switch 2? Like the console itself? They have the right to just brick it whenever they want. And this
Yeah, no, that was the very dumbest thing I ever heard.
snap of a finger. That's never existed before, but look, Xbox and PlayStation are doing it too. So I guess they're just right. But is it not?
No, this is not right, because that's essentially saying that Steam can brick my computer for modding fucking Sonic Adventure. No, that's very illegal. That's literally just shutting down a device for no reason whatsoever. It's not like Microsoft can shut down my computer for me modifying how Windows looks, or better yet, they can't brick my computer for, I don't know, deleting Copilot, which is literally just bloatware.
Not insane to imagine that they have a kill switch, a button that turns off everyone's console. They can just turn it off. That's a real nice thought. You really own nothing. I want to show you a website. This is suedbynintendo.com. It is a record of every time Nintendo has sued someone. It has a search bar for crying out loud. I mean, let's just scroll through here for a second. Cease and desists, DMCAs, copyright violations, shutting down emulators, removing videos, removing channels, taking down fan art, going after modders. It's all there. And all of these are sources going directly to its story. And even this doesn't scrape the surface. Nintendo doesn't care about you. We are walking money bags to them, nothing more. And if you still think otherwise, why? Give me one example of Nintendo doing something good-hearted, something they don't just profit from. Name one. This company is the biggest crybaby fucking loser I've ever seen. But if we're gonna try to really understand what happened and where it went all wrong, we're gonna have to take a trip back to the past.
Here we go to the past.
It's 2006. The economy is
yes.
great, and the Wii just came out. It even came with a pack-in title, Wii Sports,
which was free and a demo.
This game was an instant classic. Every family was playing it, because it wasn't just a gamer game. There was bowling, baseball, tennis, golf. Everyone could play these, and it came packaged with every single Wii for free. Huh. Interesting.
Interesting that it came for free.
But Nintendo seemed to have it all figured out. They were releasing banger after banger after banger. Ignore this one. Everyone was slowly becoming a Nintendo fanboy, and it wasn't just because of the games. Nintendo actually had a face, Satoru Iwata, and for Nintendo of America, Reggie. These guys would become beloved, and for good reason. Reggie is famously known for fighting to get Wii Sports put in as a pack-in title, and Iwata was actually a gamer, and a programmer, and he was part of the directs.
Please take a look at this.
What is this?
So the Wii was a massive success. All they had to do was follow it up with something good. How hard could that be? Shit. The Wii U was an interesting time. If you ask someone who owned one, they'll tell you it was a fantastic console. The problem is, nobody owned one. Compared to the Wii, it sold about 13% of what the Wii sold. Mostly because of shitty marketing. I mean, really, the Wii U? That's the best name you could come up with? It sounds like a Wii accessory. It wasn't helping that the 3DS, which came out a year before, was also flopping. The president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, saw this struggle and cut his paycheck in half. Wow, that's generous. Did it make a difference? Not really, but it's not about that. By cutting your paycheck in half, that's taking accountability. That's showing that you care. And it's way more honorable than doing a bunch of mass layoffs. Which, let's be honest, that's what every other company would have done. But Iwata stated he didn't want to do mass layoffs. Nintendo's value was its creative talent, not just its finances. I'm sorry, what? That sentence came from Nintendo? It's weird, it feels like this company had a soul or something. What happened to this guy?
Oh, he passed away at 55.
On my business card, I am a corporate president. In my mind, I am a game developer. But in my heart, I am a gamer.
Rest in peace, Iwata.
In 2015, the president of Nintendo, Satoru Iwata, passed away.
I'd like to speak to you from my heart about our jobs and about our industry. My first creation was a baseball game. I don't think anyone can say it has bad graphics because it has no graphics. But when I saw my friends playing that game and having fun, it made me feel proud.
A couple years before the release of the Switch, he got cancer. He underwent surgery to try to get it removed, and he reassured everyone that the surgery had been successful. He even changed his Mii to show that he lost some weight. Soon, he would return to Nintendo. He wanted to provide as much help as he could before the release of the Switch.
Rest in peace, you absolute legend. The company you work.
Nintendo
worked for
replaced Iwata
no
with a
longer.
businessman.
That's the most disgusting taste on anyone's mouth ever. Right after one of the greatest legends of gaming dies, they replace him with the most corporate person ever.
Banker, someone that didn't care about the games. That businessman chose another businessman to succeed him. Faceless, corporate, cold businessmen. The only place you'll see them is at shareholder meetings. Iwata never got to see the release of the Switch, but something tells me he would be pretty proud.
And some developing news for gamers out there. Nintendo announcing a new edition.
It's hoping the new console, called the Switch, will be the next big thing in gaming.
Cut the damn music. We already know the Switch is a massive success. Blah, blah, blah. It was revolutionary. It changed gaming. I don't need to explain why the Switch 1 was a success. It was a perfect console.
Keyword was.
Except for the kickstand.
It was shit.
And the pretty bad processing power, and the audio was pretty bad. The screen was only 720p. Oh yeah, and Joy-Con drift. The controllers were pretty horrible. It could only hold 32 gigabytes of storage.
Why?
Sometimes the dock would scratch the screen. Maybe it wasn't actually that perfect, but did it matter? It had Breath of the Wild.
It only ran
And then Odyssey.
at 30 FPS.
Plus, the price tag was reasonable, at only $300. Anyway, everyone thought Nintendo would do the smart thing and release a Switch Pro. So, a few years later, they released this, the Switch Lite. That same year, the president of Nintendo of America, Reggie, leaves.
I'm retiring. I'm handing over the controller to Doug Bowser. Doug will become the new president of Nintendo of America.
Doug Bowser is a businessman. He came from EA. Okay.
Dear God, no. Why?
Okay, yeah, the cracks are showing. I'm not gonna pull any punches here. Doug, you do a terrible job of acting like you care about the community. Maybe you really do, but try to show it more instead of just tweeting all the time. This feels disingenuous. Right now, you are the face of Nintendo, yet we hardly ever see you. Except for like once. Nintendo was the one company that had a face. It's what made Nintendo, Nintendo. Now it's just run by a bunch of fucking business weasels. I seriously have to ask, have y'all even played a video game before? Doug, please do a live stream of you playing a video game. Maybe use game chat, invite Furukawa. You guys can play your new Mario Kart game together. A couple years after this Prince Charming took over, Nintendo released their next console, the Switch OLED. Remember how the Switch 1 had pretty big design flaws? Well, you can fix them by buying a new console. Great, thanks guys. But I'm sure the next console is coming out soon. We just have to wait, and wait, and wait, and wait. This sure is taking a while. It's been 7 years, you guys still working on that console? Must be some console.
And then the piece of shit comes out.
Well, in January 2025, they finally announced the successor to the Switch. The Switch 2. Go get your popcorn. The Switch 2 launched for $450.
That's already a $150 increase of what was originally affordable.
Yes, 450. That is $150 more than the Switch 1. Inflation doesn't cover that, manufacturing cost doesn't cover that, it's just fucking greed.
We didn't consider tariffs into that equation.
They're charging you $80 for this confusing, sloppy, boring mess of a Mario Kart game. Hopefully you enjoy having a quarter of 100 people in a race. Chaos is fun, apparently. And when you're done with Mario Kart, why don't you pay us money for a manual? Revolutionary.
Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour will launch as a paid digital game.
Did you know the Switch 2 can run Breath of the Wild at 60 frames per second?
Yeah, you told us.
But of course, you have to pay for that. $10, please, and you get the privilege of using your system's hardware. Oh, and did you know they increased the price of the Switch 1? It went up. How the fuck did it gain value? Shouldn't it be the other way around? Y'all are saying the Switch 1 OLED is worth $400? Meanwhile, Best Buy is selling it for $350, and Walmart is selling it for $300. What is happening? Do you guys even know? You ignorant dumbass babies are driving this company into a hole. Maybe the president of a gaming company should play games. You guys don't even try to act like you give a shit.
They're
It's
just
crazy.
gonna turn into the Penn Central of this shit at this rate. They went from fucking, what is it? They essentially went from the Baltimore and Ohio to the Norfolk Southern, and now they're just driving themselves into a hole like Norfolk and Western, and Norfolk Southern, and then some.
That you're still not subscribed. Anyway, after all this was announced and the price was figured out, there was a bit of a boycott.
Bro, drop the price, drop the price. Oh my god. Jesus, yeah. Keep it alive. Keep doing it, though.
$80 fucking for a video game.
And not only not telling us why it's worth 80, but giving us a 15-minute direct that was full of things we already knew, nothing new in this trailer, and then just leaving.
Nintendo didn't even have the balls to put the prices in the direct. What's wrong, Nintendo? Were you guys just too shy? I would be too if I was charging $80 for this shit, and this, and somehow this. What do I even say? You guys added a couple stupid minigames that utilize the camera and now it's just worth 80? Truly incredible how that works. People are acting like Mario Kart World is the only $80 game. Who is gonna buy a Switch 2 and then proceed to buy Switch 1 editions? Oh, and you know what President Doug Bowser said about the price being too high?
We recognize there are some people that may not be able to afford the Switch 2's price point. That's why we wanted to make the other Switch platforms available.
He's just saying if you're too broke for a Switch 2, buy a Switch 1. Great, except you guys made the Switch 1 more expensive. Also, are we gonna talk about this, Nintendo? If you buy a Switch 2 in Japan, it only costs $340. What's the catch? It's region locked to Japan. I guess if you speak any other language, you'll just have to cough up another $100. Y'all are so good at pissing off the whole world. Who is gonna buy this? First of all, we're gonna need a console, obviously. Let's put that in the cart. $450. Ooh, I do kind of want the Pro Controller though. Look, it even has buttons on the back now. Let's add that. I definitely want to get Donkey Kong. I hear everyone loves this new Mario Kart game. Let's get it. Apparently this Tears of the Kingdom game is pretty great.
Shrine Island doesn't have a shrine on it. No shrine on Shrine Island, and this game costs $70.
Aw man, it's 80 now? I am visiting my parents next week, so I should probably get a carrying case. I'm thinking the RDS Industries Nintendo licensed Game Traveler Deluxe Complete System case for Nintendo Switch 2 Black. That one looks good. Let's get this amiibo. Oh yeah, I do need online for game chat. Oh, and how could I forget? The Nintendo Switch 2 camera. Alright, let's check the cart. We got a console, a couple games, and some accessories. The grand total is $920. But I hear you. I added a bunch of random stuff that you don't really need. So let's get rid of this, and this, and this. Definitely this. The new total is $720.
That's still too expensive.
How? It's a console and 3 games. You're telling me this is the
fastest selling console.
Fastest selling game console of all time.
Ever. Is it really? The media coverage around the Switch 2 makes it sound like this thing just can't stop selling. That was true at the time, but the latest data is telling a completely different story. Week after week, the Nintendo Switch 2 is rapidly declining in sales, and fast. If it keeps going in this direction, the Switch 1 will outsell the Switch 2 in a matter of months. For all the people saying the Switch 2 is the biggest console success, are you sure? Because in my opinion,
The PS2 sold more successfully than this thing. And that's not even a joke. Because okay. The list of best-selling game consoles. We're gonna need music for this. The PS2, 160 million units. The DS, 154 million. The NES, 61 million. Where's the Switch 2? Oh, it doesn't even show. Okay. PS2, 160 million. DS, 154 million. Switch, 153 million. Look how far you've fallen, Nintendo. 5.82 million units. You can't even outsell the original Switch. It is a fraction. 1/3 of the Switch. I understand that school says Wikipedia can't be trusted. If it shows those kinds of numbers, I think it can be trusted.
it's looking like the biggest flop. Donkey Kong Bonanza sold 4 times less than Odyssey. But I know what you're gonna say. Odyssey came out 7 months after the Switch. That doesn't matter, because time isn't the factor here. It's how many people have the console. When Odyssey came out, roughly 2 million people in Japan had a Switch. When Bonanza came out, roughly 2 million people in Japan had a Switch too. And people will have you believe that Donkey Kong Bonanza made the Switch 2 sales explode. That's not the full story. If you look at the week before...
The week before the Switch, there were 71,885 sold. The time that Donkey Kong releases, it only goes up to 152,000, then goes back on the decline.
You can see there was a massive drop-off in Switch sales. Nintendo held back Switch consoles to make Bonanza's release feel bigger, and it hardly even worked. The week after Bonanza, it immediately fell back down. Yet the media's talking about it like it's this big success. It just isn't. It's not even the fastest selling console anymore. The Game Boy Advance has surpassed it, and pretty soon the PlayStation 2 is gonna surpass it.
It has now.
But I guess that's not worth talking about in the headlines. Every single week, the Switch 2 sells less and less and less. I don't think there's anything Nintendo can do to stop it. But don't just take my word for it. Hello?
Hello? The way that Nintendo has kind of been going for this launch, they're very focused on the marketing angle of things. But by delaying that launch, they get to say best console launch, best first month. I don't remember what the American number is, but the Switch 2 is on pace to be tied with the Switch 1 by the time they both hit September.
They don't have any more AAA games to drop. That puts all the pressure on the third-party titles.
And besides, Nintendo may as well just give up. They have no more game ideas. They've done fucking all of them. Hell, they're trying to knock off Pal World with their own fucking version of it called Pal Land. So here is Pal Land on the Switch, on the Nintendo website. It was published by Boggysoft. This is a Pal Land, this is a Pal World rip-off on the Switch. It doesn't even say who the developer is. Look at this. The Pal World bootleg Pal Land on the Switch uses AI-generated assets and directly calls itself Pal World internally. Look, it even goes ahead and says DLC Pal World 1.png with Joy-Con 1s. And look at this. Flex Dev, a highly detailed 3D logo for Poké World with a vibrant background, removed 1.png. This is AI generated. And why does that have veins? Ugh. I am not opening Roblox. Screw that. Anyway.
And I got bad news for you. Those aren't coming.
Nintendo reportedly withholds Switch 2 dev kits, directs devs towards OG Switch development instead.
Game publishers are coming out and saying that Nintendo never gave them a Switch 2 dev kit. That means they can't make games for the Switch 2. Instead, Nintendo is telling developers just to make games for the Switch 1.
This type of situation happening right now is not good, and I feel like this is a product of Nintendo being very, very limited with their development kits and this whole, oh well, just continue making it for Switch 1.
What? There are AAA developers out there that want to make games for your console, but they just can't.
It's not a good idea, and it's hurting these games, and they need to change this.
Are you guys really just this oblivious? How do you expect to sell a Switch 2 with no games? People are not going to buy this money vacuum of a console just for Mario Kart or Donkey Kong. The nostalgia will wear off. Please, learn how this industry works. A couple weeks ago at Gamescom, you guys showed off one of the most popular games on the Switch 2. Elden Ring. And this is it? It runs so poorly that it can't even maintain 30 frames per second. And this is docked. People weren't even allowed to record handheld. This is embarrassing. And it's meant to release this year. How much are you guys gonna charge for this one? 70? 80? Does it even matter? This is a disaster waiting to happen. And keep in mind, these are the developers of Duskbloods. This is all they have left. There is no Nintendo Directs left.
Dear God.
So, the day I plan on uploading this video, Nintendo announces the biggest Direct they've ever had. It's supposed to be over an hour in length. I even streamed it.
Are we watching? We're watching. We're here.
This Direct was a big deal. It had all the pressure to save the Switch too, but was it going to do that? Well, it started off nice and easy. We got a little teaser for the next Mario movie, Mario Galaxy. Okay, pretty cool. The one thing on everyone's mind is, are they going to announce a new Mario Galaxy game? Not exactly. Oh god. Are they doing it again? They did it again. They re-released Mario Galaxy again. There is no upgrade, no DLC, no Switch 2 edition. It's just Galaxy again. What are we doing, Nintendo? This time, instead of paying $60 for 3 Mario games, you pay $70 and you get 2 Mario games. One of which you already have if you bought 3D All-Stars.
And adding amiibos too. Wonderful. Wow.
These are $40, by the way. Each. I should say each. These are $40
for each.
each. After that, we got Super Mario Bros. Wonder DLC. upgrade pack plus DLC Switch 2 edition. Seriously, fuck off, Nintendo. And no, I'm not gonna buy your stupid ass talking flower toy.
Was it something I said?
What is this for? And what is this for? You're bringing back the Virtual Boy from 1995? Who's asking for this? But hey,
Dear God, you're bringing back the most shit thing ever, the Virtual Boy.
Metroid Prime. How's that looking? The game that's been in development for 8 years. Sorry, 9 years. Damn, pretty terrible. No tire tracks. The sand is just a texture. Kinda looks like ass. And what the hell is up with all this DLC? Hey, DLC? You added Donkey Kong Bonanza DLC that turns it into a roguelite? Why? All you added was one island, no bananas, no sub-areas? Where's the content here? What am I paying for? One game mode? Seriously? But still nowhere near as terrible as Pokemon Legends ZA. This is running on a Switch 2, by the way. This game isn't even out and they released DLC for it.
Pokemon Legends ZA is getting paid DLC.
$30 DLC for a $70 game that isn't even out. How is that legal? How much would I bet this is cut content that they're now labeling DLC? What a shit show. This Direct was supposed to save the Switch 2 and all you guys had was, what, Mario Tennis, Hyrule Warriors? Both running off the same engines as their previous games. This is what y'all have been cooking? Now, of course, they're never gonna talk about the prices anymore in the Directs. So this is my reaction to them afterwards.
Oh my god. It is 40. Dude, $40 for a game that came out when? 2007. The DLC is $30 for Legends ZA? Who releases DLC before the game comes out? The game isn't even fucking out.
Anyways, the Virtual Boy being $100 is crazy.
You're wrong. Oh no. This is plastic that holds your Switch 2. Yeah, people are pissed.
The Virtual Boy isn't even the actual Virtual Boy. It's a hunk of plastic that holds the console. Sorry, tablet. I'm not even calling it a console anymore. That shit is not a fucking console. That is a tablet with specs that could make my fucking Amazon Kindle Fire 7 laugh at it. And it can barely even run the fucking browser that's built into it.
I'm pissed, dude. Worst Direct ever. Time to sell my Switch 2. Why did I get a Switch 2, dude? They don't give a fuck about the Switch 2 support. It's crazy.
It really isn't, though. When has Nintendo delivered on the promises? Lived up to the hype, charged a reasonable price, cared about the community? It's been a while. Can this even be fixed?
Here's a way to fix
There's
it.
not really much you or I could do to fix Nintendo. Obviously, vote with your wallet. That's the best you can do. But I want to tackle what Nintendo could do if it was a good gaming company. There are so many horrible things we need to fix. Let's go in order, starting with the scams. These Switch 2 editions should be absolutely free. Don't charge the consumer for higher frame rate caps. Stop re-releasing games for more money. Everything is way too fucking expensive. The controllers, the games, the console, the dock, the Virtual Boy. These should all...
Which apparently needs a fucking online subscription. Again, $20 a year.
Be at least 20% cheaper. Online should be free. Stop being a baby and put your music on Spotify. Fix the stupid joystick drift, and make these triggers real triggers, not digital buttons. Allow any USB-C dock to work with the Switch 2. When playing on Switch 2 undocked, let the Switch 1 games run in 1080p. That's the bare minimum. Physical game cards should always have the physical game on them. Is that such an ask? Fix.
Again, using Sega as an example, though they should have probably just crammed the fucking game onto an actual physical card. Like, the full game on the card. Despite Nintendo's wishes.
This awful looking UI. Make it interesting, make it new. Give it themes. And don't charge for them. Don't charge for Welcome Tour either. And if you're gonna...
Hell, for the PS6, release it on the fucking anniversary of the PS3 and just use the XMB all over again. That would be something cool for Sony to do.
Wanna innovate new premium features like mouse controls? Tell us why. Make games that utilize that feature. Speaking of games, where are your games? Where's Mario? Where's Smash Bros? Where's Splatoon? Gaming companies should make games. And if you're not gonna make them, then let third parties make them. Give them developer kits. And if you make a game, keep it updated, keep it relevant. If the entire community wants 3-lap tracks, let them have it. Don't antagonize the community. Speedrunning the games is fun. Having Smash tournaments is fun. Playing your games with harmless mods is fun. Stop shutting down every emulator, or at least offer an alternative to preserving games. Stop killing games. Stop suing Palworld for bullshit. Stop suing everyone for bullshit. And please, start doing some sales. They're not gonna do a single one of these things, by the way. Except maybe make a good game like once every decade. Bonanza. God, why is this game so good? Oh my god, shut up. Shut the fuck up. Okay, it's not perfect, but I really do love playing it. So what do we do? I want to play this game. I also want to play this game. And I still enjoy playing this game. I don't think you're a bad person for buying this console. I bought the console. There is no moral duty here. But please, set some standards for this company. Don't buy shitty $80 games. Buy games that deserve to be bought. In a world where everyone is fighting for your attention and your money, why shouldn't they fold to your standards? Stop defending them. They deserve to be clowned on. This company does the absolute bare minimum, and they make billions doing that. They don't care about you or me anymore, so ask yourself, why do you still care about them?
I've not cared about them for a long fucking time. Hell, the way I got my DS Lite, I bought it off of Amazon, refurbished. Not from Nintendo, because they don't make them anymore, from Amazon. And knowing them, they wouldn't give that money to Nintendo. That goes straight to whoever sold it to Amazon.
And so the reports I hear really strike me as just not the company I knew.
To me, this was a source of energy and passion. Who's your daddy?
Thank you for listening to this video. It means the world to me. It really does. I can't believe I have over 60,000 subscribers now.
Are you sure that's relevant?
Thank you.
Yeah, no, 60,000? Yeah, no, you're at 90,000, 97,000, by the way, buddy.
But I won't beat around the
I'm not gonna be one of them.
My dream is to get 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed yet, subscribe. Also, YouTube just announced this brand new feature. It's called Hype. It's basically a stronger like button. It helps smaller creators like me reach wider audiences. So if you have one, try using it on this video. If you really like it, you can even use all three. Just keep in mind you do have to be on mobile. Oh, and Nintendo? Stop being a piece of shit.
For the love of God. Well, that was that video. Essentially, the moral of that story was don't be greedy and don't be afraid to just let the people get what they want, not what you think they deserve. Just let them have what they want. What they want is something good, something affordable. Anyways, that's gonna do it for this very special 2-hour-long video. I hope you all enjoyed me ranting along with Xander about how you shouldn't defend Nintendo whatsoever about the bullshit that they're doing and should hold them accountable. Because looking at this picture of pirate software is just making me laugh. Anywho, yeah, just vote with your wallet. Tell them that they're doing everything wrong. Let them know what they're doing is wrong. And overall, just don't give in to the bullshit that they are doing. I know I'm gonna get backlash so hard about this, but if you want to keep supporting the Penn Central of the gaming world, I advise that you just don't. Because we already know that that's going to end horrifically for Nintendo. As a prime example over here of the game that Nintendo never wanted to make. That'll be a different video, if I decide to make it a video. Probably not, but still. Anyways, this has been the full 2-hour rant of the one and only DKTGM. I'll see you in the next video where I do something completely random and I don't know what to do for my next video. Maybe I'll show up on my friend and stream. I don't know, check out Anildest for, you know, seeing if I appear on there as Boom Shadow, of course. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and of course, I will see you in the next video. Peace.